For number 1, we had to find an object that had an undefined slope. So we went and got this laptop. This laptop has an undefined slope because it does not have a rise over run, and it's a flat surface. So that means that this is an undefined slope.
1.
For number 2, we had to use an object that had a slope of 0. So we chose a ruler because a ruler has a flat surface and it has all the same y coordinates. So we used a ruler.
1.
For number 3, we had to find an object that has a slope that is 0 or undefined. And for that, we used a backpack because it's just not defined, because there's nothing, it's just a backpack. So whatever, it's undefined. Okay, Mr. D, you gonna argue with me? You gonna argue? Come on, mama, come. The lines of this door intersect when they have opposite slopes. So this would be our example for number 4, a door.
Go.
For number 5, we had to find lines. We had to find something that was parallel. So we chose a locker because this top line is parallel to this bottom one, and vice versa. And also this top corner corresponds to this bottom corner, and this top corner corresponds to this bottom corner. Yeah. For number 6, we had to find a triangle, and A equals half of BH, so we're gonna measure it. We're gonna measure it now. So this is, oh shit, is it? Oh.
Just keep going, I'm okay. It's okay, be quiet.
It's hit on the edges. Okay, so this equals 12 exactly. So the base is 12, and then there's 1, 24, like 20, 25 and 25.
25 by 12.
So after we measured it, we multiply 25 by 12 and we get 300. And then we divide it by 2 and we get 150.
And the area is?
And the area is 150. So for number 7, we had to find an object that had, we had to find something around this. So what we did was we drew a rhombus, and you have to multiply the base times the height. So 8 times 4 is 32. So that's the area of the rhombus. For number 8, we had to do a rectangle. And so I drew a rectangle here, and then what I had to do is I do length times width. So 2 times 10. So then I multiply the length times the width, and I get 20. So the area is 20. For number 9, we had to find a trapezoid. So I drew a trapezoid, and the formula we're going to use is this one. So I'm going to put, this will be 5, this will be 15, and this will be 7. And so what you have to do is you have to plug in the numbers. And so since this is base 1, you put 15 plus base 2, 7 times the height, 5,
22.
I knew that. Okay, so then you plug this into the cap. Wait, no. What is that?
What are you doing?
Times is home.
No. Sorry, Mr. D. So you multiply 22 and 5 to get...
that's what I'm saying.
What's 22 and 5?
That's, wait. 80.
5 times 2 is 10, Mr. D.
10.
Plus 1 is 11, so you get 110.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
110.
Oh my gosh, I suck at that.
But 110.
Like that.
And then half of 110 is 55. So the area of the trapezoid is 55.
Hi, Mr. D. Okay, so we have to find a kite, and basically it's just like a rhombus. So we're gonna use the same formula. So for D1, it's 4. So we're just gonna add them together, and it's gonna be 8. And then you're gonna multiply it by 2. 3 plus 3 is 6. So then you go like this. And 8 times 6 is 42.
48.
48, my bad. 48. And so then half of 48 is 24. So area equals 24.
Number 11, I have to find dilations and calculate a scale factor. So for my original image, I'm going to draw a triangle. And I'm going to label that A, B, and C. And inside the original image, I'm going to draw the new image. And I'm going to label that A prime, B prime, and C prime. And I'm going to say that C prime to B prime is 4, and from C to B is 8. So now I have to calculate the scale factor, and I'm going to say that CB over C prime B prime, which C and B is 4 plus 8, because you have 4 and 8, and then your C prime to B prime is just 4, so 4 plus 8 is 12 over 4, which would give you a 3. So your scale factor is 3, and your dilation is a reduction. For number 14, I have to find a right triangle and confirm that the Pythagorean theorem works. So I'm going to draw my triangle. Put 6 and 8, and that is x. So I'm going to write the formula: a squared plus b squared equals c squared. 6 squared plus 8 squared equals c squared. 36 plus 64 equals c squared. And 36 plus 64 is 100 equals c. And then you square that and you get 10 for c. So equals 10. So I'm going to use my geometry book to measure the mid-segment of a base. So I already have it measured out with the ruler, and it stops right at 11. So half of 11 is 5.5 or 5.5, which is that line right there. So then, as you can see, that is 1/2. So I'm going to use my geometry book to measure the mid-segment of a base. So I already have it measured out with the ruler, and it stops right at 11. So half of 11 is 5.5 or 5.5, which is that line right there. So then, as you can see, that is 1/2. So for 16 to 19, I didn't have a triangle, so I got a rectangular box and cut it in half. and I measured everything out, and I got 6.6875 for my adjacent and 4.5 for my opposite and 34 degrees for my angle. So for number 16, I had to find the hypotenuse using cosine. So cosine would be, I would write it out as cosine 34 degrees is equal to 6.6875 over x, and you would have to switch that out to get x equals 6.6875 over the cosine of 34 degrees. And then when you put that in the calculator, let's see, 6.6875 divided by the cosine of 34, I get 8.0665. So 8.0665, and when I go to measure that on here, let's see, I got it straight. It's about straight enough. And when I go look, it's right below 8, actually, or right at 8. So that's how I know I got it right. Number 17, I have to find the hypotenuse using sine. So that would be opposite over adjacent. So my opposite is 4.5 inches. So I'm going to work that out. So sine 34 degrees is equal to 4.5 over x. And you switch that out. So you get 4.5 over sine of 34 degrees. X equals, and you go work that out on the calculator. So 4.5 divided by the sine of 34, and I get 8.0473. 8.0473. And when I measure that out with a ruler, it comes right out at like 8, if not like a little bit over. So that's how I know I got it right. So for number 19, I need to use an arc function to find the angle in my triangle. And I already found my angle in my triangle, which is 34 degrees. But I calculated it. So first you have to use tan, opposite over adjacent, which is 4.5 over 6.6875, and when you divide that you get 0.67289, and then when you put that in the calculator to do arctan, you multiply that and you get 33.93, which is close enough, and I got 34 degrees, so that is my angle.